immigrated to the United States in 1965 when I was 7. And we settled in Los Angeles in our first year. And then we moved the whole family to Chicago's Chinatown. Growing up in Chinatown was not easy in the 60s. And racism is so much part of my life that today I use racism as an advantage. Growing up in a Chicago Chinatown inner city, I was a kid with no direction. I hung out with the worst group of kids in Chinatown. I went away from college because I was indirectly involved in a shooting, and it scared me to death. So I took the first school who accepted me at Eastern Illinois University. I graduate assistantship offered by the university changed my life forever. It's given me direction, it gives me purpose, and it gives me a reason to excel. I worked 40 years as a commercial artist in anonymity. My artistic path is difficult with many pitfalls. But today I found my voice through public art and children's books. Using it to promote Chinese culture and its heritage. It's an identity that signifies who I am as a person. With hard work and truth to myself, my dreams came true, and so could yours. I'm going to start today with my 9th book called My Father's Yiwu. It's inspired by my personal experience listening to my father playing the instrument every single day after he lost everything he immigrated here. He was a famous opera composer and band leader in Hong Kong. He was top of his game. By coming here, he lost everything. But we, our sibling, my brother who's sitting in front of me, had benefited from their sacrifices. And today, we all had incredible lives individually in the arts, technologies, and education. So I will start with my 9th book, My Father's Yiwu. So my first scene, this is a presentation. This is not a published book. This is in submission right now to the publishers. And I took my memory of where we grew up as a center stage for this book. And the first spread is Survey Road in Chicago's Chinatown. And one of the things about illustrating for a children's book is that you must captivate the children's imagination with the illustrations. And with this spread, this is a spread that showed the publisher what the finished art would look like. So I embellished the scene by putting a parrot on a little kid riding a bike, by showing pigeons flying across the screen, by showing our record store, Lowe's Records, and we lived in an apartment behind the store. And I showed my grandfather waving. So we live in a storefront apartment on Survey Street in Chicago's Chinatown. So I showed an imaginative scene of what it looked like in this inner city apartment behind the store. And each illustration, I want to show my father playing the Yiwu and what it affects, how it affects me personally. So in this scene, I'm sitting there listening to this music, and what it does, it takes me away. It takes me away to China. His songs are ancient Chinese folk songs. So I use that to create this scene, the mountain scene, the person carrying his harvest, and the cherry blossom. When he stopped playing, he often told stories of his travel with the opera group. So I used this situation to create these imaginative scenes from places he had visited. Ancient temple hidden in the jungles, and huge stone statues in Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam. When he plays his Yiwu, he began to play again. I can hear sadness in his sounds. In Hong Kong, he was a rising star as a composer and band leader of Chinese opera. Often, he's tired when he comes home from work. But now, Father knows his life has changed, and that he can never again be the leader of the Chinese opera. Every note he plays is an echo of who he was and what he has lost. When he closes his eyes and plays the Yiwu, I think he must be imagining that he is playing in front of an audience. Father is a cook now in a Chinese restaurant. There aren't many opportunities for immigrants who don't speak the language of English. He comes home exhausted from working hard, but somehow he finds time to play the Yiwu, and he writes songs into the night. So my experience with my father when he plays is that he plays into the night, and in the morning he takes me out to the store, to the bakeries. Just after dawn, he takes me to a bakery to get char siu bao. And I remember so vividly that when he walks, he hums. So when we walk down the street, I can hear him humming his songs. So at the end of most of my books, I write a page of what inspired me to write this book. And in this case, I tell the audience about my family's struggles. Mother adapted and eventually learned to become a seamstress. Father did not do so well. He was lost in America with no goals and direction. His music skills were unappreciated into a pragmatic community of Chicago's Chinatown. My sibling and I benefited from our parents' sacrifices and love. We became citizens of this country and took advantage of the opportunities and choices that our parents never could. In fulfilling our dreams, I hope we have fulfilled theirs. So this is a book that's a little different from my previous book. It's a little more personal and a little more serious about the topic, and the words are a little more mature. So this is a new beginning for me, and hopefully the rest of my books will have this type of effects. So next, I'd like to show the process of my opera, and two filmmakers that I knew from my last downtown studio, and make a rough cut. This is not a finished product, but I thought I would show to everybody that a little bit about my history, a little bit about the mural, a little about the journey, how I got here.
The way the story goes is that when I was a baby, we left China on a boat at night. So I was born in China, but have never seen China. We landed in Los Angeles, and the whole family moved to Chicago by train. I grew up on 22nd Street, amazing place. In the summertime, everybody's out playing. The parents are sitting out on the steps because there's no air conditioning. And Chinatown was the only home I knew. There's 7 of us, I told them. And along with my parents, we lived in this garden apartment, which is like, I can't even imagine how small it is. It's family tradition that we're artists, but my family is all about the arts and music. Because the environment was provided from the get-go that it's okay to do artwork. Whether you make it professional or not, it's okay to do them. It's okay to play scale every day. No one complains about playing scales. So the environment was there for us to grab this or not grab it. But everyone in my family could either play an instrument or do art, or both. I decided to be an artist when I enrolled at Eastern Illinois University, 1976. And I said, I'm getting away from Chicago. I mean, it's growth, right? Personal growth, maturity, that's what creates these concentric circles. It's growth. Without growth, you stay in that circle. And I see too many people stay in the circle and be satisfied with it. And I was never satisfied with staying anywhere. I was told in the profession that it would be a death sentence not to have a style, a particular style. And I just never did. I was never attracted to doing one thing. I think that an artist should be explored at any stage. I got an email from an environmental designer that worked for the city. And they told me, Rich, there's money here if you want it, but it's for a mural. They said, you have to finish by last week of June. And now, I've never done a mural, but I was never afraid of any task. My personality would never tell me to say no to anything. First of all, I think I understand about ratios. That if I do 10-to-1 ratio, I can create a very tight sketch at home and make sure the composition is exactly right. And then I start drawing using the grid with a broad brush and acrylic paint. So it dried instantly. I said, monkey cane seems to be pretty interesting, so I started with that. And then at times I would go into sketching to sort of get the composition done. The routine is come in, 8 o'clock in the morning, take my paint out from the garbage bin, pull the tarp out, and the staff will come out and greet me and help me fill the water or brush with brushes. They're just the most amazing staff. And I'm trying to embed myself to Chinatown because that would help me do this result, and I can't explain why. I just knew that I need this. I need to get back in to meet the people that been in my life, since the 60s. It was so hot. It was 90 plus every single day. So by 3 o'clock, I'm exhausted. Right? People bring me water. Neighbors, friends would bring me water in the course of a day, ice water, right? My passion doing this piece of artwork outweighed any of the outside interference, including the weather. It was so hot. A lot of people that I didn't know would come and watch me paint and just walk away without saying anything because they don't know me. But even that is incredible experience to have pass by just stop and watch you paint for a while, and then move on to the regular business. the experience is far greater than the artwork I produced. When anybody that look at the mural will get some kind of attachment in your Chinese, especially in Chinatown. They have a connection with that particular culture. Not necessarily they're opera lovers, they were iconic actors of the Chinese opera. One is the male warrior is called Huan Hong, and the female is a warrior too. The Monkey King is the one that's most acrobatic, and I think that when I was doing the mural, that people come to appreciate not only the artwork, because I think that may be a little over their heads, but the subject matter. My father was at his height of his career as an opera composer and band leader. He was doing nightclubs, he had a radio show, he was on top, and he left. What happened after that was a bit tragic because he was lost in America. How he found opera, I don't know. It's a very rare art form. It's very connected to the culture and heritage. That's why I thought it was fitting that the subject matter on the mural was the Chinese opera. I think it was just fitting to not only honor him, to honor our family's legacy in the arts. On a piece of artwork that could outlive me. A piece of artwork that the museum appreciated because it brought a lot more attention to the museum. And what better than a tradition, a Chinese opera tradition that has been in our culture for thousands of years.